You don't have to be an artist to be creative. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes, and art is knowing which ones to keep. Art therapy is a technique rooted in the idea that creative expression can foster healing and mental well being. How can one become an art therapist? And how is art therapy used to help people heal? Today, on another episode of Edvi Talks, we will be talking in details about the profession of art therapy. Hi, this is Shanoli Ray, and welcome to Edvi Talks, a show about career and job prospect. Today, we have with us a very famous art therapist, Mrs. SANJHNA Nayar. SANJHNA Nayar is a vibrant blogger, author, podcaster, psychic medium, rune and tarot counselor, art therapist, tasseographer, graphologist, and energy healer. She currently is pursuing her PhD in tarot and divination. SANJHNA Nayar is the founder and CEO of SANJHNA, The Journey Within, a holistic well-being center. She is strongly committed to spread positivity and guide people towards emotional, mental, and physical healing and growth. She was awarded as Best Writer in 2022 for her book Savage Lemonade, An Army Wife's Spiritual Journey. She is also the recipient of Hera Awards, Centurion of the Year Award, Woman Pioneer Award, Global Woman Inspiring Award, and many more. So let's welcome Mrs. SANJHNA Nayar, the eminent art therapist, on our talk show, Edvi Talks. Okay, so we have today SANJHNA Nayar, the art therapist, in our show, Edvi Talks. Warm welcome, SANJHNA, for
Thank you so
having some time to discuss about a very, what I can say, unique profession. So,
yes. Thank you for having me today.
Let me start. I want to know what motivated you to choose this kind of profession, actually.
So it was a personal quest altogether, if I can put it in that way, because just like how it said that to quench your thirst, you have to search the well yourself, or something like, when they say that life is your best teacher. So that's what happened to me, with me rather. So it was for my daughter. Being in the army family, I come from the army fraternity. So there are a lot of challenges. More than anything else, it's the mental and emotional stress on the family members, right? So, my husband was posted at the front for about this. I'm talking about 6 to 7 years ago. And my daughter was then just 4 years, around 4 years, and had just started her schooling. So she was, very introvert and a shy child, and it was all fine in the beginning. It was cool, happy. I used to just drop her till the bus stop. She used to go, come back happily. We used to talk, chat with her. How did the school go? Everything was all right. But with the months passing by, she stopped eating completely. And you know how they, are thinking goes that children are like that. They're very, because she being introvert and shy, and then she could be choosy also. So I was just taking it that way. But she stopped going out completely. She stopped talking to her friends. She just wanted to sit at home. Now, one day I got a phone from her, class teacher to come to school immediately. And I was like petrified. On reaching the school, I learned that my daughter kept crying throughout the day in the school. So I was shocked because she came back very happy. And whenever I used to interact, with her, she used to happily answer all the questions. Mama, I did this, I did that. It was really an eye opener that kids can actually hide their emotions from their parents, right?
Yes.
Even being in the healing profession, this was an eye opener to me completely. Now, I happened to consult a child psychologist, and I was heartbroken completely to know that, when the doctor told me that your child is under depression. She is, remember, 4 years old. And I could not just take it. Now, we followed a lot of treatments for some time, and, it did help. Whatever the therapy that she had, a little bit of medication was there to make her sleep. Sedatives were given. But just to add on, there were a few therapies which did help, but this depression was beyond treatment, and mainly for the fact that she was missing a father, and all of a sudden we were staying alone, and from our families, and also with this environment that she was in, we were in there, did not help both of us, emotionally. It was a tough, challenging life. Now, the kid, she really had a traumatic experiences, okay, emotionally. Now, I wanted to heal her, and just wanted to see, my baby happy again. And I think by then I was already trying my other healing and modalities, my energy healing and the crystal healing. It helped. However, depression was really coming back again, so it was a very temporary phase. Now, that's when I started my research and I got to know about this art therapy. Now, I learned about this art therapy myself because I wanted to do it on her. And I got a degree from the Transformation Academy. Simultaneously, I was healing, I was treating my daughter. Today she's 11 years old, an extremely independent child who is, recently received this Bharat Book of World Record Award for walking for a cause, by the Project Balika Vidya, and also received Bharat Kala Ratna Award for her oil painting.
Okay,
so I just feel
nice.
Elated. Yes. So that's my story, how I started. Yes.
Congratulations to your daughter and you too for being successful. So we can find that if it is applied in proper way, art therapy really works. So I would like to know, yes, because your daughter has improved so much, and now she is succeeding in various fields apart from normal studies, academics and all. So I would like to know your educational pathway. That means if one comes, wants to come to this profession, what are the educational background required?
Okay, so this is an interesting journey, Shanoli, which many of the current generation especially can relate to. Because I call myself the perfect example of learning and rising through your own blunders in life, right? So I was a science student who decided to do commerce graduation, much against my family wishes, because, the typical thought process that one kid has to become an engineer and the other goes to the doctor, becoming a doctor. Now, I cleared my entrance exam though, and I got 675th seat in the state. I was in Andhra Pradesh then. This I'm talking about 1989. And I was a gold medalist in, commerce. So I left that engineering seat only to do my, whatever my heart called for. So it was the commerce. And from there on, I proceeded for my master's in business administration from the Madras University, and also did my master's in finance from Pondicherry University. Now, I'm also a diploma holder in early childhood education and child psychology. I have done my graduation in Bharatanatyam from Telugu University. And of course, with time, the other professional courses that I have done is, PGD in art therapy. I'm, this PG diploma holder in yoga life coach, certification in energy healing, and many more to go. But that's all the, the little additions to the courses. But mainly, yes, this is what I have done.
Multi-talented in one word.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
let us know about the job responsibility, because this is a unique kind of profession. So what exactly you need to do when you come into this profession, or what type of work environment is conducive to carry out such kind of profession actually?
Okay, so Shonali, because when you ask me about the responsibility, it is in a way similar to all other techniques of psychotherapy, cognitive behavior therapy, as all these is directed towards the understanding and treating the emotional and psychological difficulties in a person, right? So this, I'm talking completely purely art therapy per se. Now, art therapy is all about the relationship between the therapist, the client, and the art, and it gives the client the power to harness the creative power of art. And also it's about the making process of the art, right? So what the therapist here is doing, he draws a very strict line between the art therapy and the clinical therapy, right? So what happens is, when we try to do something very creative, which is not traditional, non-clinical, completely new, and it's just coming up in India, especially now, it's catching
Yes.
up.
Yes.
We suddenly lose our identity as art therapist, unless it is more critical. So when you talk about the responsibility part of it, definitely we have to keep in mind, art therapy is about treating the mind, the unspoken words, right?
Okay.
So that's the responsibility that the therapist, or whoever the candidates, they need to have a certain amount of compassion. The liking will definitely be there. There has to be an inclination towards art. Now, the beauty here about art therapy is, you do not have to restrict yourself, or you do not have to have that expectation from you to be an artist, right? Any teacher, for example, I'm just giving us a wild example, or even it can be a corporate person. They can also be an art therapist. Now,
Okay.
they do not have to become or have the quality of the painter, because it is not just restricted to the coloring, the drawing. It's about creativity,
Okay.
right? So there needs to be compassion, there needs to be creativity. And I think, yes, that's the main responsibility, because connecting with the client is what makes you different from any other therapeutic the modalities.
Medium.
So that's, yes.
Okay, the next question is related to this only. What kind of actual professional skills or personal qualities are required to come into this profession? Because all the professions are not suitable for everybody. Okay, so
Yes.
if anyone wants to come into this profession, as you mentioned, even from corporate line, you can switch on to this profession, or from any
Yes.
kind of educational background, you can come into this profession. So only you need to do certain kind of have to undergo certain kind of training and all. So, but along
Yes.
with that, I think certain skills are always required to succeed in a profession. So, as you were mentioning, some of the skills, compassionate one has to be compassionate and all. So what exactly the skills are or the personal qualities are required to sustain in this profession?
So to begin with, the person, as I mentioned before, Shinoli, needs to be empathetic. Empathy is the foundation of being any therapist for that matter. Definitely, you have the courses that one can learn, and you can always work upon your skills. Having said that, you can be say a counselor, you can be therapist, you can be an expressive art teacher, why not, just a facilitator, the creative healer, or even a life coach. So you can have this art therapy inclination from any walk of life. For that, this art therapy course will really help you work upon your skills, which is definitely empathy and sensitivity, and formulating the emotional quotient. So that's what is the main, I would say, the foundational skills that one requires to become an art therapist. Now, the art therapy courses are available, if anybody wants to just work upon these qualities. Now, what does it do actually? It actually provides a total indulgence, of art therapy. It practices the various techniques. Now, it offers training in different counseling approaches. Now, psychological analysis are there that they will be dealing in, and different skills, as I mentioned, which helps a person, to just formulate a perfect plan for the client. Because we have to understand that every story, I don't call whenever a client comes up to me, I don't call them a client, I just call it a story, because
Yes.
every story is different, their experiences are different, right? And what happens is, because it's all about the connect with the client, that's how the art therapy works. We formulate plans differently to work upon each story based on their history. Now, for example, when I work with young kids, toddlers, so I use a lot of colors, right? I use the crayons, I use maybe just pastel, the poster colors, the watercolors. Now, the same technique I will probably not use for any traumatic person, who has gone through a lot of trauma in their life. Like one of my stories was from the abuse, the marital abuse, and this lady approached me. So when I happened to do a therapy on her, I will make a plan, not just using the colors, but I have to also pay attention to her likings or her hobbies, because it is not about just formulating a plan and making them to draw a thing, but it's about connecting with themselves. That's how well they will come out with their pent up emotions. And it's beautiful, Shinoli, to see, every artwork is so different. So I have various curated materials for this. Right, for example, if it is for this instance, she loved embroidery, so I just used a lot of embroidery related things, and that's how we worked together, so that when she sees that end product, and it's beautiful, it's just beautiful to see the smile on her. And at times it's also shocking to themselves to know that this is what was the block, to make a certain decision in life. So it can be, art therapy is all about cultivating the skills and qualities from your daily experiences. You can always work upon it, so
Yes,
there is no strict, yes.
and I feel the connectivity is the main thing
Absolutely.
along with your client. And you have to do a lot of
Absolutely.
research, I think, to create your plan uh, according to each
Yes, yes,
individual needs.
it absolutely, we need to understand the background of each client, or the story that as I call my clients. So even if it is like children, my main area of function is the institutions, the small Montessori's, and the primary, because these are the power pack children. Unfortunately, they do not know how to express. So when and this is coming from my own experience, right? They are happily talking to their family members, sharing what happened in the school, but somewhere they might not be sharing what is bothering them.
Yes.
And that's when I talk and I encourage parents to come up with just art therapy, even if it is not consulting any expert, but they can just use it in their day-to-day life, just to have fun and add that connectivity, that bonding better. It's beautiful.
That's really beautiful. As because I deal with children, I find this very
Yes,
interesting. So
absolutely.
now let us know about if anyone wants to join this profession. So what is there in future? Means how their career path will progress in this profession, or what are other related career options if one do the art therapy course and all. So apart from becoming an art therapist, what are other related career option one can choose also? So
Okay, so yeah, it's again very I would say subjective. Now, Shinoli, every person coming in and opting for this career will have to keep in mind that they need not necessarily set up a clinic like other conventional doctors do. Not necessary, absolutely. I still work with a lot of my stories online, right? So that is that's how the beauty of this art therapy is, because it's all about the connect with the story. Now, after acquiring your sufficient, your the education or the courses that you have done, one can always work, for example, the hospitals.
okay.
You can just collaborate with any of the rehabilitation care centers. You can also work with the psychiatric organizations or the clinics. That's coming up very much in India. I also work with children suffering from autism. It does magic. They can connect with colors much better. So that's a beautiful option again for people who want to take it as a career. They can collaborate with the orphanages. Not just
Even
collaboration, they
educational
can work for
institutes
them.
also should come up with such kind of training
Absolutely.
for teachers also,
Yes, you're
because
right.
they need to find out in the class while some of the students behave in certain way, maybe they can apply
Absolutely.
this kind of therapy in the classroom also to
I agree with you, Shunoli. I agree with you. And in fact, in coming days, I am taking this, I am working with the teachers, where I'm going to talk about this, where they can, inculcate the art therapy into, everyday subjects, that the classes that they have. And it is beautiful, as you mentioned, because kids can be really challenging for the all the educators out there. Yes, because for especially the backbenchers, you know how it is. You ask them to just put down your head for some time and just relax, and they just wouldn't do. They just wouldn't just settle down. They're just there running everywhere, and they need to be occupied. So give them some task, or so every child has different psychology. right? So what is art therapy? It is a beautiful, I would say, an instrument that we have today available to us, and especially, as you said, if it's also made available in every institution, it will be game changing altogether, because it not just concentrates on healing aspect, but it also it works upon the tools that we use, so the touch and feel concept, it really, so it works upon the motor skills also. So it's beautiful how kids and the teachers can connect better through art therapy. And even not just for the drawing classes and the art classes, you can actually have this art therapy for your other subjects also. And it's beautiful, even the maths or even the EVS for that matter, right? You can just have this art therapy concepts included. And it's beautiful how children just connect with art.
Yes. So that is why art integrated education are being encouraged these days.
Absolutely, Shanali.
Yes.
I agree.
So now let us come to the while we choose the one career option, we always think about the income part. What would be my income? Because
Right.
while a novice can get a certain amount, and gradually it is obvious that one
True.
gains experience and all. Gradually the pay package increases. So suppose if any fresher or any student just joining the this kind of profession and this, so what can be their earning at the initial stage and how it grows actually?
Yes, it's again, Shinoli, it completely is subjective to individual's interest. I say this because of the patience level that individual will have. Because when he takes up as a career, it is going to be a business end of the day that we have to accept, right? And there will be challenges, because it's end of the day, it's going to be the healing business. Now, when it comes to art therapy, I'll talk about today's scenario because it's just catching up. There are many art therapists in India, handful of them. I'll still call it handful of them, but they can start from say 500 per hour, and it can just go up. It's an individual interest, so that you cannot just fix it to a certain amount. It's similar to our psychology, the line, the field. So it completely depends upon the individual, how they fix their business,
And
and
also
how
depends
they want
upon
to
the
do.
efficiency of that person who's in this career. It will not only
Yes, so that yes, so I would add on to your point, Shanoli, efficiency with the patients. That's why I'm was emphasizing on patients, because efficiency will come with practice. And healing also, because what matters is if the clients are not coming back to you, right? If you're not able to provide that therapy on them effectively, uh, and that happens with time, with practice, right? You need to have that patience, that empathy to connect, and it all depends on that. So you really need to work upon that patience, and it's catching up in India. It will take time because it's a very slow market, I would say. If you are not genuinely into that bond kind of a thing, that you really want to heal
that
someone,
passion,
if you
for
yes,
service. Yes, I
absolutely,
think
absolutely. So if you
otherwise,
are wanting to look at art therapy as money making aspect, I would say I would not say it a wrong a profession, but then you need to practice upon yourself and your patience level.
upgradation.
It's a slow market. Yes.
Yes. And finally, what would you like to say about or any advice or any thing to the future our students or the freshers who are willing to join this profession? Because you
Well,
are quite experienced, so what would you like to advise to the novice
sure.
or the freshers?
So yes, so for all the youngsters who want to, try this new therapy, which is beautiful, I think it's an interesting career to choose. One, because art is all about the unsaid. That's, as I told you before, it's the world less story. It just enables people to express themselves. And, often what happens is people find it very difficult to put words into things, and art is the way to do that. So in art therapy, the focus is on the process of making art and not the art. So it's beautiful because you need not be the painters. You really don't have to, your job here to understand is that you are not going to judge any painting here, right? That's a little cliche there, because art therapy, people combine it with simple drawing, which is not. So for all the freshers, you need to have that inclination towards healing people, to make people smile and genuinely make a difference, right? Because it's a language of self-exploration. So keep up the good intention, I would say, and it's a beautiful exercise. One can just explore, experience, and just experiment how to let go of the self inner critic and understand oneself better. So all the very best to all the freshers out there who want to just pick up this beautiful therapy. It's called the art therapy.
Yes, and one thing I must say, we can apply this on ourselves also for our
Yes,
better version. That is the best part, I think
absolutely.
of this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sanjana, for coming into this show, and we get to know very good insight about this profession. I think this is a trending future profession. In future, it will be a very good profession in India also. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. Art therapy is a process where patients are encouraged to create artistic works either as a free creation or based off a prompt, and those works are then analyzed by a therapist. An art therapist is trained to examine the artwork created and interpret it, then use the art as a way to open a conversation with the patient. If you are interested in a career where you can use your love of art to help others, art therapy may be the right field for you. While art therapy is a new concept, it has been gaining popularity as people are beginning to realize the benefits of this type of treatment. So, number of online art therapy courses also rises. Let us know about 5 of the best online art therapy courses. Number 1, the British Association of Art Therapists. They provide some introductory online art therapy. Number 2, the American Art Therapy Association. They provide some advanced level online art therapy courses for the therapists. Number 3, the College for Educational and Clinical Art Therapy. This is an Australia-based institution founded for the training and development of art therapy. Number 4, Center of Excellence's online art therapy courses. These online art therapy courses is designed for absolute newcomers to the field of art therapy. And lastly, Trauma-Informed Practices and Expressive Arts Therapy Institute. This institution provides courses that are designed for master's and doctoral level mental health professionals and graduate students in mental health and related professions. And art therapy may see patients in a variety of settings. Common locations for an art therapist to work include client's private residence, community-owned building, corrections facilities, elder care communities, hospitals and clinics, outpatient treatment facilities, private or rented art studios, schools and universities, shelters, therapist-owned private building. I hope today's episode of art therapy profession will be beneficial for the aspirants of the same. Stay tuned for the upcoming sessions of EdviTalks, where we will be discussing in details about various other professions and where you can study them. EdVision is now registered under MSME and also provides specialized skill and teachers training programs. You can contact over phone on 919318314829 or 9007428942 numbers, or send email at info@edvision.com. Do like, subscribe, and follow our channel to access all the free resources. Thank you.